We're at this incredible point in time where all of the big camera manufacturers release one top-of-the-line piece of equipment after another. Sony, Blackmagic, Canon, Fuji, Red, DJI, and so on. Filmmakers love to talk about the inherent look of these cameras. Argue all you want, but most people out there won't be able to tell whether a video was shot on Canon, Sony, or whatever. Trust me, I love these comparison videos as much as the next guy, but without context they become irrelevant. Every single mid-tier modern camera is able to produce a stunning image nowadays. Cinematographer Oren Sofer recently said, "The camera is just a data capturing tool," and I kind of like that perspective. But if that is the case, what is the secret to a striking look? Let's talk about my favorite lens of all time and why you may want to add this one to your collection. Vintage lenses have seen a huge resurgence in popularity over the last couple of years. And for good reason. Modern sensors can capture incredibly sharp results. And the trend with a lot of modern glass is to make it sharp, free of distortion, and without the tiniest bit of aberrations. All of those things would be considered as flaws. But when you take away these imperfections, it feels like you've stripped away the soul of the image. There is a place for these lenses, whether it's for commercial work, product shots, and as a clean starting point for all the post-production work you'd want. But my point still stands. That little bit of magic is missing. In comes this historic Soviet lens from the mid-20th century. Why is this cheap, readily available lens so popular nowadays? Well, I paid about $120 for this modified version of the Helios 44-2. It comes with a declicked aperture, E-mount adapter, follow focus ring, oval insert for elliptical bokeh, and an inbuilt fishing wire that produces streak flares. Whether you need these DIY additions comes down to personal preference. To me, they're worth the extra price. It's a bit ironic then that this little lens produces a superior image to my regular workhorse, which costs significantly more. Superior being a very subjective statement. I love the intense bokeh swirls. I love how sharpness drastically decreases in the corners. I love the wild flares and how dreamy it looks when shot wide open at f2. 58mm is a somewhat unusual focal length, but it hits a sweet spot where it's wide enough to capture your surroundings and tight enough to be great for details and close-ups. Little pro tip, if you're shooting on a Sony camera that has clear image zoom like an FX3, you can effectively turn this into a zoom lens with minimal loss in picture quality. As with most things in filmmaking, it's all about the right tool for the right job. You won't have the luxury of autofocus, weather sealing, programmable custom buttons and whatnot. What you will get, however, is a very distinct look that pairs beautifully with today's high-resolution sensors. You can easily find the unmodded version of the Helios 44-2 for under $100. Check the description below for a video guide on how to find the best version for your needs. It has been manufactured for multiple decades in multiple different manufacturing plants, and you should definitely make an informed decision when picking one up for yourself. To sum things up, it seems like a no-brainer to me to add this one to your list. It has cemented itself as one of the defining vintage lenses of the 20th century and remains a top-tier choice to this day.